Would you love me if I was any different? Mama had 3 children, ain't worked a job in like 10 years. I guess that shit was unappealing, but father working like so. Balancing out what he was selling slow. Don't even know half the shit we been through, but through the struggle I had for my truth. Talking something nice, there was no meals. We couldn't even pay the bills. My brother over there getting high just for a motherfucking cheap thrill, but I can't.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Kyle Alexander, and welcome to the very first episode of Kickin It with Kyle. It's just a podcast where we like to give athletes a platform to talk more about themselves and get to know their story more. And today we have a very special guest for the first episode. We have Raiders wide receiver, one of B-More's finest, Dante Thornton Jr. Dante, how are you doing today?
It's good, man. I'm chilling. How you doing?
I'm doing well, can't complain. And first, I just want to say congratulations again on getting drafted, making it to the NFL. No, it's really big for somebody from Baltimore to make it, so I'm always happy to see one of our own make it.
Oh, yeah, I definitely appreciate that for sure.
Yeah. And today we're just going to hop right into it, and you're going to start off with college. So last time we left off in our last interview, you were committed to Oregon and went there. And first couple of years, you put up some solid numbers and limited playing time. And that's when head coach Mario Cristobal, he leaves for Miami, Dan Lanning comes in. And that's when you decide to transfer to Tennessee. What just led into that decision of entering the portal and choosing Tennessee as your next home?
I ain't really, like, after my second year at Tennessee, not Tennessee, my second year at Oregon, I ain't really, like, trust the process and how things was going to go my last year or my last 2 years. So, like, I had a good season. I'm like, I'm going to better myself, hit the portal, and see if I can get somewhere else, get a fresh start, and just really make the best of these last 2 years with me wanting to accomplish that goal to go into the NFL. So, I ended up hitting the portal. A bunch of schools reached out, then ended up being Tennessee.
Right. And since you went to Tennessee, before you've had 3 different head coaches in college, and I feel that's kind of the theme of your college career. It was just change because you had 3 different head coaches, had 4 different quarterback every year. So how was it going from Mario Cristobal to Dan Lanning at Oregon, and then how was it going to Josh Heupel at Tennessee, and having him for more than 1 year?
It was definitely different. Like my first 2 coaches, really all of them, they all like wanted to win. Like that was one thing that I seen from like each program. But I said like the biggest difference when I went to Tennessee was saying that like everybody was buying into that process of wanting to win. And like that made me feel good about it as a whole, like with the whole program and everything like that. But they all were great coaches, had their specific things that impacted me in a way with my career and everything like that.
Right. And you was talking about wanting to win at Tennessee, and they did make some headlines this year, made the playoffs. And that was another thing as far as your previous seasons. Like I said, you were kind of behind different guys on the depth chart and making the most of the opportunity that you had. Then senior year, you finally become the starter. And
Not really, no. Not really. I still was not starting.
and I couldn't even tell because then you end up leading the team in receiving yards.
Yeah.
And I've heard there's something crazy that people don't really recognize when it comes to this season that you had. You had 661 yards on only 26 catches and ended up leading the nation in yards per catch. So
Yeah.
what did that mean for you to finally break out and to put up those numbers and to show people you can produce with a higher amount of targets and be more featured in the offense?
It felt good for me personally, like, because going into this last season for me, it was always big, and the mental side of just my whole goal for this past season, with my senior season in college, was just to go out there and have fun and take advantage of every opportunity I'm given. Because every year before that, I was trying to like control everything on my own when that's not the way it's going to be. So I really just stepped back, let whatever happened, and just worked every single day consistently, day in, day out, whether that's practice, meetings, anything like that. And the results started to come from it. And then I took it and ran with it.
Right. And you seen the production paid off. And another thing I noticed, I felt like you kind of stayed, or at least how your production went, it was based on like your scouting report coming into college as being this tall, fast outside receiver that can play in the slot. So what was that? What was one thing that you worked on from your game, like from first getting into college to the season that you just had? And what was one thing that you felt kind of stayed from high school that you was able to keep doing at a high level?
I say like the reverse order. Like what was one thing I could do that I started doing in high school and kept doing at a high level. Just be being fast and playing fast. Like of course that's not really one of those things that you can really teach. That's something I was gifted with. So I feel like that's something that I've always been good with doing. But then on the flip side of something that I had to work on throughout my game. It's just like learning the game of football, and then just my overall game, like route running, releases, different things like that. Just constantly trying to figure out one thing I want to work on every single day. Whereas though it won't be like I'm just focusing on one thing. I'm really trying to perfect my whole game.
Right. And I feel like over the years we've kind of see that game be more well rounded out. Even going back to Oregon, like I mentioned earlier, the 4 different quarterbacks. What was that like going into each season with a new quarterback? And what was one thing that you were able to? How were you able to build that connection with them?
I would say it's definitely tricky, like having a new quarterback every single year. But it's just, I guess, that comes with the game and how things happen. But every quarterback I had from my freshman year to my last year, they were all great quarterbacks. Had something different about them, and I'd say like just for me personally, I knew I wasn't starting and stuff like that, so I had made connections with the backup guys and stuff like that. Or I was just trying to do what I could to get close or not get close, but just get these guys to believe in me. Like even with Bo, I knew like with Bo, he believed in me. He knew I knew I was gonna be doing out there. So if he seen an opportunity to throw me the ball, he was gonna throw it. With Joe, that was my first year at Tennessee. He believed in my speed and my ability to like beat people. And he knew that if I ran deep ball, he was gonna throw that ball to me. Then with Nico, it's just feel like the connect. I feel like the greatest connection I had like throughout my college career was with Nico. Like
Mhm.
my first year there, his first year there, we both was learning everything. Then we come into my last season, his second season. And it's mostly like we've been working the whole off season together, so we already got that connection going. Like how he liked my routes we ran, where the ball gonna be placed at, how I liked all those different things. So like having a full off season with him, and then getting in the season, having the whole season with the offense under my belt, it made it a lot easier. And I knew for sure that Nico trusted my ability to go out there and make something happen, and I felt the same way with him.
Right. And then that obviously led to the big season that you had. And you also mentioned how you wasn't starting a lot and you were kind of just like I said making the most of your opportunities. And you were behind some pretty notable college football receivers like Johnny Johnson, Troy Franklin at Oregon, and even at Tennessee like Squirrel White, Brew McCoy. So what was your relationship like with those receivers at Oregon and Tennessee, and what were you able to learn from the older guys as you develop your game?
Well, I said I had a great relationship with like every receiver that I played with from freshman year to senior year. I had a great relationship with all of them because at the end of the day, like we all going with the same common goal of being like the best receiver we could be, whichever year that was. So even if they were older than me, I was trying, like you said, what I take from the older guys, really just like learning to be a pro from a college aspect, like doing all the things right, make sure I knew the playbook, and just like learning to adjust from high school to college. Yeah, I said that was the number one thing, and really, one of my probably one of my bigger role models, like when I was at Oregon my freshman year, Devin Williams, and he always told me like, there's a bunch of stuff that you can't control when it comes with it, but just take advantage of every opportunity when it comes. Like you're gonna have this time to shine, and when it comes, take advantage of it. And I feel like I ain't see that come back into my last year of college.
Right. And like you said, you were able to learn everything and build that up to your last season. And that's kind of what I want to ask you next. As far as when you had this last season and you saw you were getting like featured in the game plan more, you had the same coach for the first time back to back years. When did you know? Like when was the first sign that you had this season of like, okay, my draft stock is starting to go up or my stock is starting to build up?
To be honest, like I would say like it started to change like halfway through the season, but like it still wasn't like crazy. Like I was projecting undrafted free agent before the season, and like midway through the season went up to like fifth, sixth round. But I'm like it went up, so it's cool. Then by the end, they were saying like, of course it changed. Like nothing is 100% accurate, but it'd be like third through how the rest of the rounds, whatever it was like that. So
Right.
more so for me, I wasn't really worrying about it. 'Cause like I said, I was trying to control what I can control, and that's something that I can't control. Only thing I can control was like the work I was putting on the field, whatever's on my tape, and then just my effort to be the best I can every single day. So regardless of all that stuff, I wasn't too much worried about it because I knew God had a plan for me to work out with that.
Okay. And talk about how God had a plan for you was focused on what you can control. So despite you going through all these changes throughout your college career, what has been like what has your faith been, or like what is one thing you focused on to keep you grounded or to keep you going through all the changes going on?
Just like you said, like my overall faith in God, knowing like He made a plan for me that was here way before I was born, and there's nothing I could do that could change what he had written out for me already. And then like my siblings and my family, like they're my biggest motivation. And then probably like is all those things I just said, they all at number one. And then I got like the younger version of myself because when I was younger, I started playing football when I was like 4 years old, and I played football because I wanted to have fun. Like that was a way for me to express my emotions. And like over time, that idea starts to leave my mind or leave your mind in general as an athlete when it gets political or the business part of it starts coming in. So once I shifted my mind back to just trying to have fun, regardless of what the outcome is, that made me have a lot more fun with it.
And then you talked about your family and you growing up playing football. As a local kid from Baltimore, have you used that as any motivation for your journey, or has it kicked in that like not a lot of people from the city make it to that level yet, but as we start to see more athletes, like how has that played a part in you going about your journey?
I definitely say it played a big part, like more so now than anything, because like of course most people from back home they Ravens fans, but when I got drafted, it felt like the whole city was behind me. So like that showed me that I got a lot of supporters back home, even if it's people that I don't even really know like that, they still showing support. So for me, it's like knowing that I made it so far and show different to the city, I feel like I'm being a big motivation for those younger kids, or just kids in general back home who see me doing what I'm doing and feel like, okay, that's good. He from the same place, so I probably have a chance to do it. And that's the only thing I want to be able to show these kids, brother, that yeah, I came from the same environment as you, but it's not. You don't have to take the I don't want to say bad route because everybody do the things that they have to do for the best situation that they're in, but you don't got to take that route. You can go the positive way, and it could be school, football, whatever job you're going to do. But if you put your mind to it, you can get out of whatever situation you're in.
Right. And I definitely agree with that. And like I said, just being able to make it from Baltimore, I feel like that's a really great thing. Again, Ravens fan myself, so it would have been nice if we drafted you, had you out there with Lamar and Zay, but Lamar has different plans, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into next, the draft process. I think it's safe to say your stock went up after running the 40, and
That's
after that, what was just that draft process like as far as like going into like before the combine, the meetings? What was that process like for you?
I ain't gonna lie, like as a little kid, like seeing the draft talk, it's not exactly what you expect. Like it's super tiring. That whole process is really tiring. Like even starting back with like training before you go to the combine, like is you working and you just finish the season, go straight to training for the combine, then y'all go up there. But like for me, it was just like knowing that I had the opportunity to live out a lifelong dream that I had since a little kid. So I just was trying to embrace every moment of it, whether it was tiring or something I didn't feel like doing, but it was a part of something that I always wanted for my life. And I'm actually living through that. So it was a great experience for sure.
Right. And with all that draft process going on, obviously you go end up getting picked by the Raiders in the fourth round. So what was that process like with them as far as like them looking with you, like looking at you before the draft? What was that process like with them specifically?
Oh, it's crazy. Like I probably met with them like somebody for like one of their scouts, something like that throughout the process, probably like once before the combine, and then I ain't really talked to the receiver coach or any of their like actual coaches until 3 days before the draft. Like I had to meet with the receiver coach, was talking about and stuff like that. So I wasn't even expecting them to be the team that picked me. But like for me, I always said I just want to go somewhere hot, and it ended up being that I came back here. Well, not came back here, but came here, and it's probably one of the hottest uh, cities for a football team. So it
Yeah.
all worked out in a way that I wanted to. I'm glad to be here.
Right. And with Vegas, so you're not really have an idea that you was going to Vegas. Was there any other team that you were expecting to go to, or a team that you thought, okay, I might have a real chance of going to this team?
Yeah, I was thinking either Green Bay or the Titans.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking out of those two.
And the Titans, that I noticed their offensive coordinator is Nick Foles, and he was at Tennessee. Was that part of the reason they were looking into you?
Oh, it might have been really, but yeah, I don't know. That's just one of the teams that I talked to the most like throughout the whole process.
And then, so like you say, you end up going to Vegas unexpectedly, apparently,
Yeah,
and now, on top of that, they drafted another receiver, Jack Betch from TCU. So
yeah.
what has it been like coming in, both y'all being rookies from the same class, coming into the Raiders organization? What has that relationship been like, and like learning everything with him?
Like I said, we got a great relationship. Like you said, like we both came in the same draft class, same position. So it takes some pressure off you, like when you're the only person drafted in a specific position group as a rookie. You got to go in there. You might feel like you're in there by yourself, but it was three of us really that got drafted. So me and Jack was all like me, Jack, and Tom. We were the three receiver draft picks, and from the moment we got there, we was constantly just working together, just that's learning plays, just being with each other the whole time. And I feel like we have a great relationship, and that's going to continue to grow over these next few years.
Right. And also you go to Vegas where so like you say you go to Vegas and you're one of the main receivers drafted in the class. You end up going to a team that wasn't winning as many games before with like the previous coaches and the previous regimes. Now they make noise in the offseason by signing Pete Carroll. Tom Brady's the minority owner. So what has that been like going into there with, and then on top of that you already have Max Crosby. So what has it been like going to that team with they're trying to build a new culture and build a new regime? What has that new culture felt like?
Oh, it's been great. Like we the new Raiders for real. Like I feel like everybody in the locker room feel the same with this idea, saying like something feels different around. Like all the vets always say like something about how things are going, whether it's the coaching, the players, how we practice and stuff like that. Just something feels totally different from how it used to be. So just knowing that everybody feel the same way and knowing that we have all the pieces that we need to be a great football team. We have the coaches, we have everything we need. Really, we just got to put it together and show the world that we the new Raiders. And I feel like that's something that's definitely going to come to fruition.
Right. And notice the Raiders definitely do have a balance of like that veteran presence and the young guys. And speaking of, you came into the class with another one of the most hype rookie running backs we've seen with Ashton Genty. So how has that been with y'all both coming in as a rookie camp and learning from, like, have y'all learned anything from each other? Like, just like, how has that relationship been?
Nah, it's a great relationship. Like really, like with him, but just in general, like all the rookies, like we like got a close like brotherhood. You could say like all the rookies stand behind each other, and we laugh and joke. We basically it's like I feel like college again, really. Like hey, you come in as a class in the locker room, and y'all always have every single day. We got all these rookie meetings together. We doing all this different stuff together. So like it only force you to connect with these people, and I feel like we all have a great relationship. I love all of them for sure.
Right. And you talked about the relationship that you have with the rookie class and all y'all coming in basically being like you said, a united brotherhood. Another connection I've noticed in camp is with their new quarterback, Geno Smith. We've seen in camp, seen the passes, the deep balls he's been throwing you. So as for the Raiders to go out and get Geno and for you to come in and eventually be named a starter, how has that process been like building that a connection and chemistry with Gino and being implemented into the game plan?
It's been great, really. Like since the moment I got here, since the moment I got drafted, like I text Gino the night I got drafted, and then since then, like Gino's taken me under his wing, and that's like he's a big brother to me. Like every single day, he telling me something like to get better. He constantly keep motivating me to get better every single day, and it feels good. You know, like you got a quarterback that's a veteran quarterback, but he believing in me as a rookie. So like it makes you want to work even harder, or want to be perfect, or not perfect, but perfect what I can do to help the team and help him like every single day. So it's definitely a great relationship.
Right. And was Gino the first person you reached out to when you got drafted?
Was he the first person I reached like from the team? I think I think Max might have texted me.
Okay. And
Max
what was that
was
like?
even him on Max, and basically like just him like welcome me to the team and stuff like that. And then I talked to Trey Tucker when I got drafted. Justin Shorter, and he's a guy that I knew from Penn State. So basically, I definitely talked to a bunch of different guys like when I first got drafted.
Right. And speaking of getting drafted, the draft call when you first got the draft, what was going through your mind when you got the call? Well, what was you expecting? What was the conversation like on the phone?
It was crazy for real, like, cause like the first 2 days, like after talking to my agent and stuff, like we already knew, like from what coaches had said, like the report and stuff. My best odds of when I was going to get picked was like the last day. But of course, everybody had a feeling like I don't know, maybe it might happen early. Like we don't know what's gonna happen. So every day I was feeling like maybe somebody might call my name. Like the first day, it was like and maybe not, maybe not. I don't know. The second day, it felt more like I got the feeling like it's gonna be this day, and I just keep going on. Like damn, that shit is crazy. Like I ain't get picked. So this last day, I'm like, regardless of what it is, I know I'm gonna get picked. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know I'm about to get picked. And like I was saying earlier, the Titans had the first pick of the fourth round.
Right.
They had ended up grabbing another receiver. I'm like, I don't know where I'm about to go right now. And then the whole draft time I kept joking, like I pick up my phone, be like, hello, and it won't give me my phone up. And this last time, like a number popped up my phone. I looked at it. My father was sitting to my left, my agent was sitting to my right. I get my phone, I look at my father, I'm like, I answer the phone and I instantly freeze up. Like John Spotek, he started talking. He basically saying like, yeah, man, we love the game and all that stuff. We gonna draft you and stuff like that. And then like we gonna get you on the phone with Coach Pete. Like the whole time, the only thing I really said on the whole phone call, I just kept saying yes sir over and over again because I ain't really saying it. I
Right.
was in the moment of shock for real. So it was like, all right, yes sir. Coach Pete got on the phone. Then he started talking about like old film, like from Oregon and stuff like that. Like talking about like how he been watching for a while, see like that I'm a big guy, willing to block and all this stuff like that. And like, he can't wait to have me there and stuff like that. So it was definitely like when you think about the draft and stuff like that. It definitely like that dream come true phone call. I ain't gonna never forget that for sure.
Right. And you talk about that conversation with Pete Carroll and how he's been scouting you for a while with him being your new head coach. And the Raiders having two guys that we both grew up watching, Tom Brady and Pete Carroll. So what is it like going from growing up watching those guys on the field, on the sideline, to now you're playing for the same organization,
Yeah.
like learning from Pete as a coach and Tom Brady on the side? What is that? How has that been to you?
It's been crazy, but like, of course, like I see Coach Pete every single day, and like for me personally, I feel like he's the reason why I'm here, along with our owner and like his dad. I was the type of receiver that his dad would have loved to have picked in the draft and stuff like that.
Right.
And then with Tom Brady, like I be like starstruck every time I see him, like because he speaks to me and shit. I'm like, damn, Tom Brady's talking to me. So it'd be crazy for sure. Like, but it's definitely great to have him part of the organization and part of the coaching staff because I definitely learn things from both of them every time I talk to him.
Right. And I feel like that is one of the best situations to possibly go into as a rookie, just having two of the great game's greatest players and coaches to be right there and learn from as far as starting a new culture as well. And so with that culture, like I said, the balance of the veterans and the rookies you have. And I know most rookies when the rookies come in, the veterans usually have like their rookie that they pick and stuff or that they're close with. Do you have like a vet that you gotten close with, been able to learn from?
Oh yeah, it's a few of them really, but like if I say in the receiver room, I say Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers. They the two of the backs in the receiver room that I've been leaning on since I've been there, and they both take me under their wing, like just learning the flow of how the NFL goes, and then just being a receiver at the pro level, really. So
Right.
definitely them two. But I can say a bunch of different people. Max Gino, there's a bunch of different people that like take me under their wing since I got into the 10, been in the NFL. So those are just a few of them.
Right. And with learning from Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker, has there been anything that they've learned as far as or anything that they share with you as far as how the team was before compared to now with the new regime in?
In a way, but with Trey more so, like it's easy for me to connect with Trey because like the role that I'm playing the team, he played that same exact role when he first got drafted here. So like he know how I feel to be the guy that's going out there and running a lot of deep balls and stuff like that because he had to do that same thing. So he just be trying to give me different pointers on stuff like whether that's taking care of my body, what to eat, what to drink, what stretches to do before, just basically a bunch of different tips that he had to learn on his own that he could just give to me and make it a little bit easier for me going into that same position.
Right. And that is one thing I've noticed with you going to the Raiders with Pete Carroll in that system. I've kind of said, like, I know you've been you're the type of receiver that can fill that DK Metcalf type of role for what they was running in Seattle. And for you to kind of come in and be in that role as like the outside or like inside receiver and to get all this praise on Twitter, seeing like fans all over Twitter talking about, oh, Dante Thorne's the sleeper rookie. This is the guy that all this for you to be a fourth round draft pick from Baltimore and to have the season that you had in college to get you to this level, how has that been to kind of see that like the fans and the city is already like behind you and ready to see you?
It's been great for sure. Like any athlete that's like their like lifelong dream to have people look up to them in that way or give them those type of praise. But for me, it's more so just thanking God because, like I said, I wouldn't be here without him, and I know that he had this plan written out for me way before I even gotten to this point. So it's like it's been a bunch of times I wanted to quit playing football and all that stuff, but just now that I stayed focused and stuck with it, God made it work out for me. Like, and for my good and His glory. So I just thank Him every single day because I know without Him I wouldn't be in the position right now.
Right. And I'm hearing you talk more about your faith and God. Has there been like a piece of scripture or like anything that you kind of keep with you to like keep yourself motivated and keep yourself locked in on your ultimate goal?
Oh, I got a prayer book that I read every single day. There's like a prayer in the morning, prayer at night, and then on game days I read a prayer to like calm my mind. And it's just more so just making sure I know at least twice a day I'm gonna be able to pray and just keep that connection going because He's always listening no matter what it is. So I just try my best to lean on that because I feel like that's the big change I made in my senior season, like growing deeper in my faith. And when I made that shift, things started to get a lot easier for me. So I feel like that was definitely a part of my life that I needed to keep going that way.
Right. And I'm guessing that's some of the Mount St. Joe experience coming in as well.
The theology class.
Yeah, for sure. And so you talk and then you get to camp and you're starting to perform well. Next thing you know, you're listed as a starter on the first depth chart before the preseason game. What was that first initial feeling finding out, and how does how does it feel as you to be coming in as a day 3 pick for you to be performing well enough in camp to get the eyes of people and for the coaches and the staff to see, okay, this is a guy we can make a day 1 starter?
Yeah. It's been great because like since the moment I got drafted here, every coach or especially on the offensive side of it, that they tell me like what my role is. I'm big and fast, and the role they needed to fill was having a big and fast shooter that can stretch the field. So I knew my role was I attacked it 100% with 100% effort and really just been trying to get better every single day. Like for me, I ain't really care. Like when I first got here, I wasn't a day 1 starter or anything like that. Like I just constantly kept working. Even now, like yeah, I may have started in the game, so but that don't mean that I'm gonna solidify day 1 starter when the season starts. So I have to continue to keep on like learn the game, learn the plays, just constantly working, getting better at my craft every single day. Because there's always gonna be somebody trying to chase after you or anybody that's above them is like chasing something. I don't want to be the guy to get caught, so I'm gonna keep on running like my life depends on it. It does. So every single day I'm trying to get better and better so I can keep getting the edge on anybody that's trying to be my opponent in that position.
Right. And you talked about them. So with the staff talking about your role and you seeing you as this big fast receiver. Notice we have a new offensive coordinator in Chip Kelly, and you have some history going to the playoffs against Ohio State.
Man.
With that, with that with you having that past experience with Chip Kelly, and then coming in, like playing for him, how's the conversation been with you being placed in his system? And is there anything like he's talked to you about as far as like your role, or has he compared you to like any old receiver roles that he might have had before at like Oregon or Ohio State?
I say like like in terms of like what he feels my role is just playing fast. Like I went running 4-3 on all my film is showing me breaking away from people, running goal balls, post stuff like that. So they try to use that to the best of our advantages, and that's when my role come in. So every single day you see me like just play fast every single day. Come out the ball running. It's gonna put fear in DB's hearts. That's gonna make them back up and open up everything else for you. It'll make it a lot easier. So I really go every single day with the mindset of regardless of what route it is, I'm gonna just try to run off the ball every single time, and it's gonna keep working for me. And that's just how I gotta constantly keep working.
Right.
But talk about Chip. I see why that what happened to us in the playoffs. I see why it happened. Like being in the offense, I can see how that happened for sure. Yeah, I see it
You just seen it firsthand.
for sure.
Yeah. And so you come into the Raiders and like you say, you talked about how there's a culture change, there's a new regime, everybody feels confident. You also came into a team where not only the Raiders got better, but the division as a whole got better. And you have these competitions. You have Pat Surtain on the Broncos, you have Pat McDuffie on the Chiefs. So what is that? Is there like a particular corner matchup you're excited to go against, or any corner you can't wait to go against in the league?
Really, all of them because I'm had to see him at some point this season for real. But I feel like for me specifically, it's gonna be fun. Like week 1, we play against the Patriots, and I'll be going against Gonzo,
Right.
Christian Gonzalez, and then DJ James, and they 2 of the corners I played with when I was at Oregon. So that's gonna be fun just being able to play against 2 people that I played with in college. So
Right.
look at all of them because I know I'm gonna have to see them eventually.
Right. And then another thing, so I noticed with you coming into the draft, one of the bigger knocks on you was like your route running.
Mm.
And I just wanted to see, outside of route running, I've seen you've been working on that. Outside of that, is there another skill that you feel like you need to work on more now that you're in the NFL? Or is there a skill it's like, okay, yeah, I may need to work on my route run, but I need to work on this more, pay up more attention to this and clean up that?
Oh yeah, it's just be like my release game and like beating press coverage. Like for me being the X receiver in our offense, most times I'm gonna be that guy that's gonna get singled up backside and they're gonna press me a lot. So I gotta be able to consistently beat press at a high rate, and that's something I gotta keep on working on.
And is there any receiver that you watch film on to practice releases or that you use for reference?
Like before, like I'm trying to figure out more guys to watch now, but some of the top guys that I watch, Justin Jefferson or Devontae Adams. I used to watch a lot of Doug Baldwin when I was younger, Julio Jones. Just it's a little bit harder to try to find like specific guys that are similar to me, but like it's definitely different guys that I look at and I can just take stuff from their game and implement it into mine. Like I watch Kobe every single day. And like I might see a release that he think like, okay, I'm gonna use that, and it might work for me. So like I was just trying to watch other guys, regardless of how they play and what their play style is. I'm just trying to implement some of the stuff they do into my game and see how it works.
Right. And mentioned Doug Baldwin, underrated receiver, and people forget he did have like a killer crossover to get open and uses those releases. Is that something you might be looking into using?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And so another teammate that you have is Brock Bowers, who's highly regarded as the best tight end of football, one of the best tight ends. So what has that been like coming in, meeting him, and with you being receiver, him being the tight end, y'all play similar roles as far as like pass catching. So how has that relationship been? How have you been able to learn anything from him or take anything from his game?
Oh, it's been great. Like Brock is like you said, he the best. He's like when it's all said and done with Brock, even now, like he's one of the top tight ends in the NFL. But when it's
Right.
all said and done, he would definitely be like the best tight end ever played the game. And like I see it every single day. Like Brock a silent killer. He don't do too much talking, but he gonna go out there and like lay belt every single day. It could be a corner, a linebacker, a safety. He won't do what he gotta do. So like just saying like his work ethic every single day is definitely something that I learned from him. Like regardless of how you feeling, he going out there and working every single day. So like you want to have a teammate like that. So I want to be like how I just said it about him. I want guys to be able to say the same thing about me going into like whatever it may be. But yeah,
Right.
nah, Brock at that for sure.
Yeah, and definitely got some weapons over there in Vegas. And is another thing I had noticed as well. One of your old high school teammates, and Marlo Wax, is actually in division with the Chargers playing defense.
Yeah.
Do y'all still keep in touch? And how is it like for you seeing him make the team and play in the preseason? If you've caught a game,
Oh yeah, we talk here and there, but no, it felt great. Like you said, he was out there thugging with me in high school. We out there working hard and just saying like all the stuff. Like we both had different journeys that involved injuries and everything like that. But just saying that through all the stuff we went through, we started at one spot and we still made it to the top, regardless of how our journey may have went. So like, I'm just happy to see that for everybody, like Marlo, just a bunch of different guys that I played with throughout my career, whether it's high school or in college.
right? And I imagine might be some in division trash talking when y'all meet up.
We gonna see.
So that's another thing you mentioned, like you're seeing your college teammates make it. You got Bucky Irvin, who made it. You got Bo Nix, who's with Denver, and another in division, and even Troy Franklin as well. So how has it been like seeing those guys that you went to college make it to the NFL? And has there been anything that you learned from them, like making it to the NFL before and while you were still in college? Is there anything that you've been able to learn from them from their time there?
It's great saying that, like you said, all the Oregon guys, Bucky, Bo, Troy, all them guys. But for me specifically, like I'm happy for all of them, but it's really like Troy, that's my daughter. We roommates freshman year. Like we was in there, we like similar how I talked about with the situation with me and Jack both getting here at the same time. Me and Troy was we early enrolled, and we both got there around the same time. So we basically like grew up together throughout the college experience. So like seeing like all the work he put in college, and then him going into the league after 3 years, and seeing him going up there and make plays is definitely a great feeling for me. Like I was watching the game yesterday, he scored 2 touchdowns against the Cardinals. Like just seeing that, it just make me happy right there. And every time, not every day, but every time I see it, just knowing that I'm gonna play against them twice, it's like it's gonna see who had those bragging rights over the wins, losses, or who had better numbers. But like, I'm happy for all my guys for sure.
Right. And so now you talked about seeing everybody make it. Now it's your turn. You're in the NFL. What is your main goal this year individually, and then what's like your team goal this year?
To win both of those is like, so I only really have 3 goals for when it comes to sports and things like that. It's really to win, be the best teammate I could be, and take advantage of every opportunity and give what it is. In game, in a meeting, in practice, or anything like that. Just take advantage of all those things and just having fun when I step on the field. Like regardless of anything else, like with all those things I just said, I could lean on the people around me to help me beat those same goals of wanting to win. So it won't have no selfish impact in like with stats or anything like that. When you put number goals on and stuff like that, and you don't meet them, it impacts you in a negative way. And I lived through that, so like I learned from that and made goals where it's like I can use everybody around me to help meet those goals.
All right, so just more so leaning towards into the team aspect more and not getting so focused on that. Okay.
Yeah,
And so my other thing with that, they said you not getting caught up on the individual stats or like the individual awards. So I just want to know, what is one thing that you've learned in college getting ready for the NFL, and what's one thing that you've kind of kept all the way up here to keep you focused or to keep your discipline intact?
I would say like something I learned in college that I like kept with me throughout this whole process is just take advantage of every opportunity and just like always being ready for opportunity. Like with my college career, like I wasn't a day one starter all the time. Like it may be games that I started, but it was more games that I didn't start in than games that I did start in. So just knowing coming in now, it wasn't. I already experienced the whole political side of it, like things not going my way or not being started off rip or having guys in front of me. So like knowing that in the league is gonna be the same exact way. I just had to go get what I wanted and work for it, and that's something that I kept with me since college and I want to continue to keep the rest of my career.
All right. And just maintaining that focus. So my last question, well, it's not really a question. This is more so any piece of advice that you have for anybody out there that's watching and supporting,
Yeah.
or just any advice that may have helped you through a hard time in your life and that you think may help somebody else.
Yeah, I say the number one thing is really like lean on God. Like regardless of if things are going good or bad in your life, continue to lean on God. If you aren't that close with God, try to start building that relationship because like He knows what's going to happen. He made a plan for each and every one of us, and regardless of how we feel or how we wanted to go, that plan gonna work the way that He set it out to be. So really, just stay tapped into your faith. Know that there's gonna be bad days, there's gonna be good days and stuff like that. But it's okay to have those bad days, even when you're not feeling the best spot or whatever it may be. Because like great things come from everything, whether that's good or bad. So just take advantage of every opportunity you're given in this life, lean on your faith, and everything else gonna be good from there.
With the message that you just said, keeping that faith in God, what was one point in your journey from college to where you're at now, whether it was in college or the draft process or training camp? What was one moment that you felt was you were at your lowest and you just had to keep staying focused on your goal no matter what, or you just had to keep that drive?
I'd say when I got hurt 2023 at the end of that season, because like I was having a up and down season in the beginning. I had just had a good game, had another decent game, then score a touchdown and get hurt, and I'm out for the rest of the season. So I definitely say like that was one of my lowest points throughout my career, well in college, and then that's when I started to lean more on my faith that to get things back to where I wanted to be with falling back another way game again.
All right. All right. And those are all the questions I have here today. Once again, thank you for your time, Dante.
Oh yeah, definitely.
On the season, and the city of Baltimore will be watching week 1.
But yeah, I appreciate it for sure.
Yeah. And this concludes the first episode of Kickin' It with Kyle. I'm your host. Tune in next time.